So, pivoting into school administration was an interesting process for me, because it wasn't necessarily like the traditional route. Maybe, I don't know. Somebody can I don't clarify potentially, but for me, I was working at the same school where I'd been for a few years, and had been pulled up based on circumstance and just opportunity kind of presenting itself. First being pulled up into instructional coaching. The instructional coach had actually retired. So I guess with all the work that I've done at the school, especially in math, and all of the kind of programming and just the success, honestly, that was able to be had around some of the stuff that I was creating, actually made sense in terms of stepping up into that next role. And it's weird because like instructional coaching is, in a weird way, I kind of call it like a weird purgatory type of position, where you're not a teacher per se, but you're not really an administrator either. So you're like in the middle, which to me is kind of cool, because it was like, of course, when you have situations where teachers and administrators kind of end up butting heads, instructional coaches are like Switzerland. It's like you're safe, because if I go in your classroom, I'm not doing any formal observations that are going to affect your livelihood, right? No scores or anything like that. And then in terms of administration, like a lot of those high level decisions don't really fall on the instructional coaches. Like you can weigh in, but the final say is not you. Now moving into my role as assistant principal, that was different, where now, being somebody who's worked at this school and all of these people are my colleagues, now I'm coming in and watching your lessons and giving you a score and making decisions around implementations of different programs and just different things related to professional learning at the school, and even like the school goals, like what we're going to work on and focus on this year, in each kind of like content specific area. So that within itself was a little bit of a shift, because you really get to a point of understanding that the things that you're doing really are bigger than you, number one, but you also have to take other things into account outside of the building. I'm thinking about different stakeholders and the community, right? It's not necessarily just taking care of the school or focusing on the students or just the teachers in the building. It's more. You got to consider the world around the school, and that was one of the I think eye-opening types of things when I would sit in on like the PTO meetings and have those types of conversations to get a gauge of where I think, from a future kind of perspective and context, where things were going, right? Even considering the growth of the families in the community and in the neighborhood, and looking 5 years down the line, well, this school is overcrowded or whatever the case may be. Like, how do we fix that, right? How do we deal with that problem and address it before it even happens? So I think all things considered, making the shift and the pivot into administration is, I don't necessarily feel like it's for everybody. I didn't really think it was for me, but I gave it a shot, and I think I'm better for it. I think I got a lot from that experience, and I'm definitely grateful for that opportunity, because I think it really helped build, not just professionally but even personally for myself. So hope this helps somebody. Peace.